Okay, hello everyone. It's the OVHCloud extravaganza number 14, because I didn't want to stop at 13 for one thing. But I did do some work in between 13 and now. For one thing, I solved a couple of different problems. First problem was just why I just couldn't access the database. It turned out ChatGPT, when it was inserting values into the database directly, was not encrypting them the same way that my script was encrypting them. So the answer to the problem was, when I wanted to create new admin users, to use my script to encrypt them, insert them into the database. And that worked just fine. So I got all my databases working. Also had a really weird problem with my main site, because once I had gotten all the MOOC sites moved over and working, I turned off the container, so that the only container that was running was the one that was running my main website. But my main website stopped working, which was really weird. There's no question that the main website was distinct from the other container. I have two separate containers. I'll even show them to you. Reclaim Cloud, and we'll just pop in there. Okay, so this is the one on which my... Oh, you can't see it. Okay, hang on. You don't need my email. Alright, so this is the one my website runs on. This is the data.mooc website. What happened is, this website, you see how it's got a load balancer, an application server, and an SQL database. So I did a whole bunch of testing, and I determined that this application server wasn't able to access this SQL database. And in fact, I looked at the actual IPs, and it wasn't even trying to get to the right IP. It was like a cloned version of the database had come in. Then I looked at it more closely, and it turned out the records in this database started finished in 2024. So I sort of like, I've lost 2 years of records. How can that be? It was actually using the database here, this database. So somehow the application here was using the database here, and I didn't realize that I could work across these environments like that. This is a virtuoso environment, so it's all set up algorithmically, right? There's no Docker file, or well, there is, but it's all managed by the virtuoso environment. So it turns out they share the same network. That was a bit of a surprise to me, and the way they do it, it doesn't connect outside the environment and then in, because this database is invisible to the outside world. You can't directly go into this database. Well, that's sort of true, sort of not true, but because as it turns out, I can go into it with phpMyAdmin. But that's not how this was doing it anyways. It was using the internal networking to connect to the database. So that's what happened there. So that was pretty weird. So, okay. You might ask, well, why do you have two separate environments running in the first place? Good question. Because these use the legacy version of Grasshopper, and this uses the version of Grasshopper that I'm constantly tinkering with to update. So now I've got on my new OVH server the tinkered, or no, the older legacy one. It's several years old. I think it's 4 years old, something like that. So what I need to do now is reconcile the differences between the old one and the new one so that everything will work off of the one Grasshopper server. There's a couple other things I need to do too, but that's the main thing. So I'm thinking about that. What's the best way to do that? Well, somewhere in here, somewhere in this VPS, and I can actually tell you exactly where, is the Grasshopper code. And it's in the VPS, and we access it using these terminals. And let's see, which this, I don't know. Oh, it's my local RSS. I don't need that. And here's another version of it. I don't need that. We'll cover local RSS in a future episode. And here it is currently running. I don't need that. And here's the local PowerShell. And here's my OVH. Currently sitting in my Maria database. So let's exit from that. Okay, and let's go to SRV. I think it's web. No, SRV www. Oops. SRV. Yeah, it's www. So, oh no, that's just where all the static websites are. It's in apps. It's in Grasshopper. And here's all my code, right? So there's the Docker file for launching the Grasshopper application. There's Apache, which is the actual server itself. There's the SRC, or source, for Grasshopper. So if we go into Apache, for example, that's information for the Apache server that runs in the container, and that's the HTTPD conf for it. I haven't had to touch that, and that makes me happy. And the source for Grasshopper, oops. But if you're wondering why I make so many typos, look at my keyboard. All my keys are worn off. I either need new labels or a new keyboard. I also need a new mouse. It's crazy. Alright, so there's Grasshopper, and it's actually in Grasshopper Old. That's kind of weird. Oh, I think it might be in vendor. SRC. No, that's the... See, I don't even know where it is. I don't know where my Grasshopper code is. That's how bad it is. CD up. CD site. Okay, there's my CGI bin. My Grasshopper start page, which I don't ever actually access, etc. So all of my code itself will be in here, and there it is, including some backups and stuff. So I can use Nano and work here. I can use whatever, but I'd really rather just, well, what I want is a proper editor that I can work with. Where, either directly, I don't want to use Nano to edit these things. It's really not the way to do it. I'd be editing directly on the server, etc. So normally I use VS Code. I have a local repository which I then upload to here, etc. So I need to figure that out. What I typically use is an FTP. So let's take this whole thing and I'm going to copy this, and let's go to ChatGPT. Okay, so we'll do that. I'm going to chat GPT. How much do you remember of the project we have been involved with to set up my VPS on OVH? Let's see if it remembers anything. All right, you don't have anything. Okay. Okay. We'll revisit that. But first, in my VPS, I have the following shared volume of code that is used by an Apache TGI container. And there's the location. I want to be able to work directly with this code, but it's not using nano or some shell interpreter. What I usually do set up SFTP access to the relevant directories in the VPS, then edit my code locally using VS Code, and then test by uploading and executing. And just so you know, I know that's not ideal, but it's what I've been doing for 25 years, okay? But we're getting all modern, and that, what should I be doing as best practice? All right, let's see what it says. Keep the good part of what I do, edit locally in VS Code, but upgrade the transport and feedback loop. There we go. What you should do, I was wondering about this. Most common best practice, use VS Code remote SSH and edit the code directly on the VPS file system. Yeah, no sync drift, accidental overwrites. You can light linters and tests locally on the VPS in the same environment. Okay. So all right. Okay, so put the code under Git and deploy via a working tree or bare repo hook, not by editing production. I get that, but then how am I going to test it in the exact environment? So yeah, this is a Git repo. It's already a Git repo. We could have a look at it. I commit it from my laptop and can always roll back. So edit on the server but in a repo, or B, build release directory, cleaner ops, repo lives somewhere, deploy, copy links a release onto the site. Apache points to the release. Huh. Oh, isn't that interesting? Rollback is in old release. This is the model behind Capistrano-ish deployments. It's boring, good, and reversible. If you want to be really modern, stop running CGI off a shared volume and move the app into a real service. Put your logic behind a small HTTP server. Run it behind Apache Nginx as a reverse proper proxy, etc., etc. But that's a bigger refactor. Remote SSH and Git get you most 80% of the win already. Okay. Given what I already have, VS Code Remote SSH, Git repo plus don't edit without commits rules, optional next staging. Right, so I don't care if I touch production. So yeah, I don't care if I touch production. I'm the only one who uses this application. Don't really care if I touch production, as I'm the only one who uses this app. I do like the idea of VS Code Remote SSH, and that'll be great also if I'm editing from multiple machines, which is probably still going to be the case. Less so when I'm no longer working in the office, but I still have multiple computers on which I do this stuff. So do you like the idea of I also like Git repo idea. So here's what we'll do. So here's what we'll do. I know it's like those old movies where they read out as they type. It's crazy, but you know, I wish I could soften, because when I've listened to the videos, it's really loud when I type. So let's see if I can't soften that noise a little bit so it's less. Yeah, this might be better on video. Let's see how it feels. So here's what we'll do. I'll get you to learn the structure of the current VPS and container and you'll guide me. It's a bit weird with the extra bit of cloth hanging out, so I need to sort of edit this bit. There we go, that's better. You'll guide me in setting this up. I know okay. I assume it's okay. He's always willing to serve. Okay, do just these two commands and then paste the output and redact any domains or tokens that show up. I don't think. Okay. Note that the file multisite.txt contains codes that should never be displayed on screen because I'm recording this session as a video. Okay, so just make sure. And they're generally pretty good with that. Okay, so let's copy the code. Okay, so we'll do the first one. All right, so let's go into the VPS, do the first one. Either. Okay, so let's plug this in. Number one. Number two. So let's backslashes might give it a problem, or it might not. We'll see. It looks like it was okay. Okay, copy that, put it in. I know it's not the most exciting in the world to watch that, but you need to do this to work with this software, this AI. And we'll copy the code and relevant configurish content, configurish file names only. I love how he said only 2 steps. Okay, so let's run that. Oh, look at all 3 things here. I'll just run it all. don't like it when buttons don't work the way, or keys don't work the way I think they will. Like, for example, I used the up key and it didn't go up, it just moved the entire window on me. Alright, there's the third command only. We'll run that. Enter. Okay. Control C. Alright, so that'll give it all the information it needs. I know I said it instead of him, but whatever. That's enough to start. Yep. It's mostly owned by Ubuntu, and it's already executed where needed. So when editing in place is totally workable. Okay, step 1. Switch your workflow to VS Code Remote SSH. There's an extension, okay, on your laptop, okay, or whatever. I guess it assumes I'm on a laptop. Okay. So, what we're going to do is open a second ChatGPT. I don't know why I didn't think of this before, but okay, so we'll open a second ChatGPT. We'll ask it how do I Control Shift X. Okay, so it's already open. Let's close everything. So view. So I don't know if there's a way to close all of my open windows. I got lots of open windows here. And close all. Oh, there we go. Okay. Close all of that. All right. So it's open and clean. Control Shift X. All right. Control Shift X. And then search for Remote SSH. Publisher should be Microsoft. That's worth noting. Okay, publisher is Microsoft. All right, so we have two versions. Remote SSH and Remote SSH editing configuration files. All right, so we'll select that and install. And let's update now to apply the latest updates so that we're all right up to date. So a quick check it worked. Control Shift P. Oops. Okay, don't need the release notes. Okay, Control Shift P. Oh, and type Remote SSH connect to host. I'll enter that again. Control Shift P. And then, yeah, Remote SSH connect to host. So add a new SSH host. My SSH host is, as I told ChatGPT above, Ubuntu something something. Okay, the next step. Or set up SSH config cleanly or troubleshoot. Okay, so let's go back here. Okay. Add the host. You can do it via command pilot. Add new SSH host, which is what I was doing, using SSH. Okay. So now we're going to be doing this, aren't we? Look at all those pictures. All right, here we go. EG, okay. SSH Ubuntu. Let's enter. Connect, then open folder. Okay, so I want to connect. How do I connect? Down here. It's way down in the lower right. Can you even see it there? Oh, and it vanished. It went away on me. Let's get rid of the welcome page. Oh, crap. How do I connect? Let's ask it. How do I connect to Control-Shift-P? Pick the default SSH config file when prompted. Okay. Control-Shift-P. Is there a menu-based way to get to the same place? Control-Shift-P gets me to. It's just a bit hidden, of course it is. Okay, view command palette. Okay. View command palette. Okay, Control-Shift-P. Remote SSH, connect to host. Control-V. All right. Okay, here we go. Now that we didn't get that before. I don't know why. Okay, it's Linux. Enter a password. No, it's a key. It's asking me to enter a password. But I use key-based access. Logs in without a password. I already know this. Okay. Hmm. All right. Look for a line like. Right. Okay, we'll close this off. Close remote. Okay. Okay, it never says offering public key. It never says offering public key. You must do it differently, or maybe you have to change the config. Or see, this is why I don't usually end up using these things. Okay, so the key isn't tied to your specific identity file line. All right. Okay, we'll run this in my local terminal. Egrep is not recognized. Okay, so we'll come back here. This is definitely a rabbit hole. Yes, no problem. Let's do the PowerShell friendly version. Okay. It didn't know I was on PowerShell. That's interesting. Okay. The successful one is in there somewhere. That's the one that I'm using, I'm pretty sure. Okay, so we have to nano this. Notepad, okay. It'll do it in Notepad. Good enough. And here it is. Just popped up on the other screen. User Ubuntu. Okay, and now we're going to edit this. Okay. Oh, it's this side here. Okay. host VPS. Control C. Okay. Host VPS 158. Huh. Host name. Okay, so okay, this one. IP-based host. Okay. So the host, the IP, and then the little name for it. Okay. So we'll save that. Test in PowerShell, important. Good point. Let's do that. And we'll go back to PowerShell, the local one. See if that works. Yeah, it works. We'll exit it so that we're not confusing ourselves. Okay. Remote connect to VPS 108. Okay. Connecting in VPS. Connecting in VS Code. Alright, so we'll try connecting in VS Code again. So, view, command palette, connect to host. Either of these should work. Select the platform. Downloading VS Code server. Okay. Okay. Oh. Can be quiet. Okay, check the VS Code status bar. Look at the bottom left of VS Code. Now I have two windows for some reason. Bottom left here, there's nothing. Bottom left here, okay. All right. Open the integrated terminal and run a telltale command. Okay. So it's not this one, it's the other one. Let's just complain about for some reason VS MS Code opened a whole new window for this. Always opens a separate window for the remote machine. Okay, got it. So, but I imagine I can close this one now. And we'll make this a bit bigger and easier to work with. And then we'll test the second way of being connected, which is to open a terminal. Terminal. And pwd home Ubuntu, which is where I should be. Okay, that looks good. So now this is the same as this, except I might be in a different directory, but see, there it is there, and there it is there. So that's cool. All right. Now what? Okay. Install extensions on the server. Okay, it didn't do that, but I think it did install extensions on the server. Anything you run here executes on that machine. Okay. Bottom left corner is usually different when remote, or color is usually different, and indeed it is. It's that green, but I mean, who looks down there? And it's the same green here. Okay, that's worth noting. It's a little visual cue. Alright, I'm officially in the box now. Okay, awesome. Oh, I should have thanked it. Oh well. Alright. That gets me through this step one, part one. Okay, add the host. You can do it via the command palette. Okay, put the code under Git. We'll make SRV apps grasshopper site the repo root. Run on the VPS inside. Okay, step 2. Get init. Nice duck, eh? Now, I thought this was already getted. Okay. See, again, I don't want that. And what happened there is I'm trying to highlight some text, and I tried to use the up arrow because I scrolled down too far, and it does that. That's not what I want. See, it's I don't have control over what I want. So, okay, this is all I want. I just want to copy this. Control C. Now we're going to again open a new ChatGPT window. Just trying to work with these context windows just a bit smarter than I have been right? So we'll open new chats if I have sub conversations. I have been instructed as follows. But I might have already initialized a repo for this directory. How do I tell? See, I just don't want to remake this if it's already okay. Good instinct to check first. Yes, it is. You gotta have these good instincts. Okay, first of all, we'll check git status. Oh, that's in fact, that might be all we run. So we'll go back to VS Code because that's where we're doing this now. Git status. Fatal, not. Okay, I go. Just type, capture that. Okay. Not in, okay. Safe to proceed exactly as instructed. Thank you. All right. Copy code. Okay, so we'll do that. I'm glad I'm using ChatGPT for this because Git is one of the things that has always really kind of eluded me. So, oops, can I make this big? Yeah, here we go. Ooh, it's a lot. All right, so I'm not going to give it all this. It probably knows all this. Okay. Some hint using master as the name for the initial branch. Okay. Initialized empty git repository in here. Okay. Maybe I should have done it above. Because there's stuff above as well, right? Like the Docker file. Let me see what else is up here. Compose, the imports, source vendor. Probably don't need this at the moment. That's just Grasshopper old. You know, all of that stuff. So I want to exclude Grasshopper old. Okay. All right. All right, so let's go back to ChatGPT. So I did this. But now I realize that I want to have the repository include the parent directory. Creository. And the subdirectories under it, but not src, grasshopper, old. Okay, let's see what it says. It's a bit of an issue. Okay. Goal restated. I want it. Yes. I include all the directories. Right now it lives there. Do it short. Okay. We'll remove the current. Yes. Good. We knew that. Oops. Let's close this. Or let's close this. The local PowerShell is still around just in case I need it, but I'll put it in the other window and minimize it because I don't need it for now. Okay, so let's go back here. So we'll remove what we have. Okay. All right. Now what? I've got too many dark things here. Okay, I've got this and this. I don't need to be working with that, whatever that is. No. And whatever that is, I don't need, and there's a whole bunch of them. So I'm going to get rid of these. Just cleaning the desktop here, which is probably what I should have done before starting this video. All right, and what's this last thing here? Okay, that's that text file I no longer need. That's my local RSS reader I don't need. Microsoft Clipchamp keeps advertising itself to me. Do not need. All right, and put this up. Okay, now I can just go back and forth between them like this. All right. Go to the parent directory and init there. Okay. Initialized empty git repository. Exclude. Okay, we're actually going to put this in git ignore. That's very good. Add and commit everything else. Okay, import site vendor, compose. Ooh. Oh yeah, I don't want to add the directories. The DB, okay. So let's nano, no, oh yeah, I can. Nano dot get ignored. And we'll also include DB. Okay. Let's see what happens now. Okay, it's not there. console and ignore DB. I got nothing wrong. Okay. No tracked changes. Okay. All right, this will tell me what everything is in. Okay, good. No commits yet. Okay. I got. All right. So now that's good news. Git is working. Oh, source is also ignored. That's not what I intended. And still keep DB ignored. Okay, so let's try that. There we go. Vendor source. Okay, let's ask it about this. Well, let's, okay. Under CGI, oh yeah, right. Create, well, yeah, let's move this here. Still keep, fix this. Okay, so we're gonna have to go into Nano. Git ignore. Copy code. Let's exit from here. Paste code. No, it doesn't get bigger. Let's see if I can make my text bigger. Terminal. No. I'll have to ask it later. Git merges, ignores from, all of these things. Copy. Let's run this. That's really annoying. Whoops, not here. I keep going into the wrong. Copy code. Oops, wrong one again. accidentally ran the output as a command. Git add override git ignore. Okay. And there's nothing. Oh, it doesn't exist. Okay, we'll run this. Oops. Oh, did I close VS Code by accident? Looks like I did. Huh, how weird. Or maybe it crashed, I don't know. Opening remote. Okay, fine. Deleting extensions. Very good. Okay, we're back. Enter the second command for some reason. Nothing. So Git is not ignoring source. Okay. Okay. Make DB readable by Ubuntu. Let's do that. Oh, I suppose I should read everything. Alternatives that were better. Now I realize I may have broken things. Let's find out. paste ble.html. There we go. That's listing some links. Database. Select a table. I don't see any tables. Oh, I know. The best thing is to try logging out. And we'll log back in again. I forget what the password is. That wasn't it. Did this yesterday. No. Crap. Oh, I wonder if I did break it. Okay. I'm going to go look up the password. Oh no, that's not it. That's the database password. Crap. Oh no, I would. It's remembering old stuff. Pretty sure that would be right. Don't cover it over. Okay, I may have broken my database action. Sorry. absolutely break Maria. All right. Okay, if I see a MariaDB service listed, run copy code. No such service MariaDB because it isn't. It's called something else. Is my database not even running? Where am I? I'm there. My databases seem to be gone. But they were all there. Every freaking time. It's not in mail. It's not in apps. Is it in www? Where could it be? There's only Grasshopper in there. Let's see what's all running. Bunch of Dockers. Bunch of workers, and that's about it. Okay. For that matter, I can't even find the caddy file. I don't know where any of this stuff is, because I've completely forgotten. Let's open another ChatGPT. Let's I don't want to close the sidebar. I want to be able to read the sidebar more. Okay. All right. Okay, that's before DBI Connect troubleshooting. All right. Static site served by Caddy. So I can't even find Caddy. Let's go back before. Okay. Okay, it's called Grasshopper Maria DB. Okay. Even here, I don't see where caddy file is. Let's go back even further. Let's see what it said here. Okay, let's see what happens when I do this. Stop this container. All right. Ask what image it uses. Ask what UID, GUID it uses. MySQL. Restore ownership. All right, let's go back here. Okay, sorry, it's just stupid ChatGPT has messed up again. And so I have to unmess it up again. this. Delete the corrupted TC log. Copying the code. Oops. Ah. See, I'm glad I'm doing all this not in my main chat. Okay. All right, yeah, we'll show. Root requires a password. Yeah. You stupid idiot. This is why when I was troubleshooting the other day, I didn't do it on video, so I could just do it and not worry about it showing passwords and things. Okay, we're going to do this one off the screen because I just so don't trust ChatGPT right now. And yeah, it's probably a good thing I did. Without a new one, right? Okay. So I've done that. Now I'm going to save that where I save my root password off screen so nobody sees it. And now we'll save that. Saved. Now we'll start the server. We got a problem. So what happened? Oh, okay, I see what happened. I wrote my new password in the wrong location in the compose file is what happened. So that's why I got the error. And it would have all worked otherwise, but fortunately it generated an error. Oops. Up D, okay. No services to build, recreated. Okay. Good. The container was created with the new password. Verify we're up and stable. Yep. All right. Let's go back to what we were doing. Right. So we're going to paste. Right. Wrong spot. Me to enter the password. Let's try that again. And it didn't work, so we're going to try changing the root password. Let's not change anything just yet. didn't now update. For God's sakes. And again, we're in ChatGPT hell. No, this is all way too complex. I meant to say no, not now. Well, we don't even know that, right? Let's see. It's not running, okay. Docker compose up, okay. Okay. Never mind. I fixed the password myself. Stupid thing. Okay. Now let's see if my websites work. Which it has completely forgotten about. So, was this where I was testing them? Yeah. Nope, that's old. No. I mean, it seems unlikely I would have just forgotten the password, but I got it. Okay, let's save this. Okay, we have to do the same thing. Oh, but that didn't work. Maybe I just mistyped it. And that worked. Good. We'll update that. Now, plank, I believe, was one. Maybe not. No, not. Oh, maybe it is. Yeah, we'll log out and log in. Save. Ah, for God's sakes, it's not Grasshopper FX. Alright, so that's going to be an issue. Just my one pass thinking everything is the same. I'm going to have to solve that too. Okay, never mind, we'll go back here. Okay, I remembered the passwords. And it appears the database connection has been restored. No, we're not done. We'll go back to what we were originally doing. Trying to set this up as a Git repository. Okay, let's show. All right, there's no. Can come back here. There's nothing on the screen that's compromising. So let's go back to normal. Copy that. One file is modified and not committed. Decide what you want to do with that one file. Tables make. That's so weird. I don't think that one even exists. Okay, don't run it there. I'm just going to have a look at, see what that should even be. CD site. CGI bin data. Tables. Oh, okay. I know what that is. I pretty much don't want anything in data ever. So let's, first of all, we'll discard this. Okay, what does Git think it has? Okay, we'll ask Git to list everything it currently tracks. Okay. Site assets. Okay, let's look at what's in Git ignore. More. Oh, too far up. CD apps, CD grasshopper. There's no such. How can that be? CD SRV, CD apps, grasshopper. All right. I don't see anything. I don't know where .git ignore is. Serve apps grasshopper. It may be hidden, right? So we'll just, okay, so let's make it show up. Let's see what's in it, which is what I was going to do too. Try that one more time because it's being stupid. Oh, I can go over here again. We're okay. All right. Oh, let's move it back down. I wish I could make this text bigger. Right. Nano .git ignore. See, there's an extra line. And I wonder if that didn't have some effect. Oh, it still says there's an extra line. Don't know. Perfect, that's clean and sane. I also want it to ignore any directory named data. Copy code. And I'm also, because this is, and I'm going to nano into it and do the same thing for DB. And there's still that line, just weird. But that might fix all my problems. Oops, I'm always doing that. Oh, right. And Control X. Not every DB everywhere. Yeah. Right, so and we'll ignore that anywhere it happens to. All right, we'll do that. Now, we want all of this to be a repository. Copy code. just seems so wrong. Oops, not there. Oh yeah, right. Yeah, I'm pasting there. Alright, let's see what we got here now. Nothing surprising. It's an unrelated change that had already existed from earlier. Okay, we're going to add get ignore. Okay. Then tell me committed get ignore. Okay. Decide what you want to do with tables make. Stop tracking it. Matches your intent. Okay, so we'll copy this code. That gets rid of that. One file change, 385 deletions. Okay. Confirm the repository is clean. Done and done right. Okay. I want to know what's in the repository. Get list files. Oh, very good. All right, let's see. Okay. All the site stuff, all the vendor stuff, site assets. Yes. Okay. And it should even include compose, Docker file, and all of that. Okay, good. Okay. Okay, good. This is what I want it to contain. Safely pull this repository onto another machine, clone it without picking data, etc., etc. Okay. Say next. Oops. So we've sort of abandoned this. Okay, add a get ignore. We did that. Hidden the secrets. Okay, keep CGI executable bits from breaking. Okay. Couple files owned by root in the tree. That's fine. We don't start editing unless we intend to change ownership, right? Okay, so that actually finishes all of that too, pretty much. Okay, what's the next thing you want? This git rock. Okay, be clonable, deployable elsewhere. Something else. Say what? Okay, so we're going to end this episode here because I've done what I wanted to do. I've got VS Code working so I can edit the code directly on the website, and it's organized as a repository. So let's be clear. Let me be clear about the process that happens when I start editing a file. Right, no Git mysticism. Okay, say I edit grasshopper.pl. Git is not watching live edits. So the working tree equals the last commit. Okay. Now, okay. So when I edit something, the file's different. Git notices only when asked. Okay. So at this point I have three choices. The file stays modified, it only exists on the machine, and Git will never forget. And we'll keep reminding it. So I could restore the edit. File reverts to the last committed version. Or I could decide that the change matters. Yes. So I do a git add. Yes. I want this version to be part of the project history. Okay. And then step B, git commit. And I have to actually, and I will have to put in a little message there, right? Because it'll always ask me for one. And Git stores a new snapshot. I can always return to it, and others can get it once it's pushed to the repository. Git doesn't store the changes. It stores snapshots, and that allows me to revert. That's why you had git rm cached earlier. Okay. Pull updates later. How this interacts with Docker live services. No, I get this. Now, when I pull updates, there might be conflicts. But I'm never going to pull updates. I might pull requests, but that's something I'll figure out if I ever get to that, because I don't generally get pull requests. Okay, so couple of things. Okay, so I've done what I wanted to do. Where I need to go next is, actually I have 3, maybe more, versions of Grasshopper on the go, which I'm trying to reconcile. One is the one I have here that works. The second is the one that I actually have in the GitHub repository, and what this came from, I think, but I'm not sure. And third is the one on downs.ca, which is the most up-to-date version. So what I want to do is first reconcile this with the one that's on GitHub so that I can just keep doing that. And then second, go through the downs.ca version with what I have here and try to reconcile everything so that that all works. Still a bit of work ahead, and I don't have to do it right away, although if I want to get both of those environments shut down on Reclaim, that's kind of what I need to do. Anyhow, going to end this episode here and take a break and then think about what I want to do next. So thanks for being with me.